This is a video to help you prepare for the Unit 3 Volcano ISN check. On page 88 should be your Unit 3 Volcanoes cover page. On page 89 should be the table of contents. This has been updated with all of the assignments. On page 90 should be your Unit 3 Volcano vocabulary. On page 91 is Bill Nye Volcanoes. Again, you should have gone through the answer key. And there is a back to this, so please make sure the back is also filled out. On page 92 is your How Plates Create. There's a diagram that you created, and then underneath your diagram is your How Plates Create writing prompt. Here is a student example. On page 93 is the activity Review of Plate Motion. This activity reviewed how the tectonics plates move over time. And on page 94 is your 6-1 notes. Again, all notes are available in the locker, so if you're missing any of these notes, you can access those fill-in-blanks. On page 95 are the notes that you took from the IMAX Ring of Fire. And on page 96 was Predicting Volcanic Eruptions Lab. Depending on your lab data, it may have different conclusion questions, but you should have conclusion questions recorded. On page 97 is a warm-up from December 8th, and then also a warm-up from December 10th. On page 98 is Hotspot Lab, where we use the whipped cream can to represent the hotspots. We answered the questions together about the Hawaiian Islands. On page 99 is a warm-up from December 8th, and we also use that page to draw and label the parts of a volcano. On page 100 is the 6-2 notes, talking about how volcanoes erupt. There's a front and a back. On page 101 should be your Ring of Fire map. And on page 102, the some go pop, some do not. Again, we finished these questions in class, so they should all be completed. On page 103 is your warm-up from December 15th, where we talked about the silica content and how it affects viscosity and the types of eruptions, and also the steepness of volcanoes. On page 104 was testing lava viscosity, where we looked at the four different lava samples and tested its viscosity. We recorded lab data, and we also wrote conclusion questions. Please take note that the procedure section here will be left blank. On page 105, and again we made this change, is the landform T-chart, where we wrote down what landforms are created by lava and ash and which ones are done by magma, which accompanies the 6-3 notes on page 106. On page 107 are the 3 types of volcano activity, where we glued or taped the pictures of the volcanoes next to it and described what the volcano encompassed in its layers and its type of eruption. And on page 108 was our 6-4 California geology notes, talking about how the movement of the plates have affected our state of California's geology. And lastly, on page 109 is the Unit 3 study guide. So again, if you're missing any of these resources, please visit the Unit 3 volcano folder located in the Science 6 locker. You can also find all of these handouts attached to the daily agendas. You will find that on the calendar tab. Get those ISNs looking great, and we're almost to break.